technical videos, we thought we would stop and take a video and tell you how we are.
How we're doing.
We're doing.
This is, what are we calling this? The good, the bad, and the...
The good, the bad, and the something. The good, the bad, and the something. And then the other title was Post-Medication Meltdown.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
The good, the bad, and post-medication meltdown.
Post-medication meltdown.
Dun, dun, dun. So, we've had a long week. We've had a long month. And
October's been really crazy. We've done so much, and we knew it was going to be crazy, and that's why we didn't want to start until November.
Right.
But even though we're not starting till November, all the stuff that needs to happen before you start happened.
Right.
While all of our
everything else is happening.
So the best laid plans.
Right. And we felt like it was important to talk about where we are and how we're feeling, and that although it is very exciting and things for the most part are going so well, it's been hard.
Yeah, we're getting all sorts of congratulations and we're seeing your videos, or I'm so excited for you, and we're
it's
having
very sweet, but
we're having a little struggle with the excitement part. Well, because it is exciting, but at the same time it's scary. It's nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking, and it's a lot, and there's a lot of information to process through and to get into your head. You know, specifically with the upcoming injections, what meds go with what, and how to mix it, and how to inject, do injections, and all this stuff, and on top of October already, like we said, already being crazy. You know, trying to process through that information and learn that information. It's not even just, we'll read a blog or watch a video. I feel like I have like pressure to learn.
Yeah, and so we process in different ways. And I've been watching videos and reading blogs, and I've been doing this for almost a year now. I think I feel a little bit more comfortable, but also my medication doesn't come until after her part. So I'm still on hold. But I've been dealing with testing that's been all over the place. Right. Meanwhile, you've had other things, and you don't want to be there until you're there. And so now that we're here, you've been having a...
Right, so that's we have a little list. We're gonna back up and sort of go through our list of all the things.
Okay.
So, in all the craziness, I've been traveling. You've been sort of seeing I've been traveling. I got sick. Came down with a really pretty bad cold, and I wasn't able to take any time off of work because work it's really busy right now. And in the midst of all of this, I also got a promotion.
Yay! Good job!
Which is so exciting, but again, another reason I was doing all of the self-care things. I was, trying to take my evenings off and cancel as many evening things as possible and get as much sleep and taking emergency and my vitamins and drinking tea, but...
You were doing all the right things.
Right, but I still got sick. So, that was a huge blow last week.
It's really tough. What a energy suck,
Yeah. So that was a huge issue. So that all that's going on with everything else, and then Caitlin's testing.
Yeah. So we still haven't published the video about the Fragile X, but we did post about the HSG test that I had done, and cats. So what happened was that unpacking it after the video and unpacking it, because I wanted it to be okay, and it was okay, but the doctor who performed it was a bit rough, and also I have to say that it was the first time I've ever had a male gynecologist. It's the first time I've had a male anywhere near there, and so it was a lot to process, and I think that with talking with other people, and I've been doing a lot of journaling and I've been doing a lot of self-care and self-evaluation right now, and so I think it was all coming up all of a sudden, all these feelings about it, and then the test was there's a blockage in my left tube, which doesn't affect what we're doing now, but would affect if
it is.
It just
something.
So I was having feelings of inadequacy. That was my big theme, and I was talking with with my friends, and thank you if you're watching this video. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being there for us, and I'm grateful that I had my therapist, and I actually drove to Penn State this weekend and went to this sister circle. Thank you to Alicia and Megan for inviting me, which was very healing, and I think I met the people that I was supposed to meet and hear the things that I was supposed to hear. I feel very grounded right now this weekend after all these things.
I think that's an important piece of all this, is to have community and support system outside of each other, because although we want to be each other's like main support system and tell each other everything, everything happened at the same time. I was sick, she was struggling, work was crazy, and you only have so much capacity as a human being.
We're not, we try to be superheroes, but we're not, and we can't be, and I think that it's unrealistic to make your partner, right, the everything. Mm-hmm. You have to have community, right. and again, that's why we're sharing, because I know that I found community also, and I felt comfort in videos that I watched while going through before this process and preparing myself for what this process was going to look like. And so I think that there are many levels of community, and we've been talking about, who our support system is, and reaching out to them, and, really finding those people that you can share with.
So maybe that should be the title: The Good, the Bad, and the Support.
We're going to have 1,000 titles of this before the time is. Yeah.
But so a lot was going on, and we were feeling it. I mean, we were feeling all the pushing and pulling and figuring out, and I think that it really, we call it post-medication meltdown, because I think we really melted down. Opening that box for me personally was the visual of it being real, and the visual of it, all of it there.
And originally you thought it was all for you too.
Yeah,
so
thank God it wasn't.
Well, but for women who do this IVF,
I salute you 1,000 times over, because
we do.
Oh my God.
Yes,
unbelievable.
Absolutely. We
can't imagine.
We have this beautiful opportunity to share this load together. Right. But for all of you who are going through this singleton, our hearts are with you, and if you're watching this, I hope you take comfort in knowing that you are not alone.
No.
I think that's another thing that's been going through, is this: you are not alone. Every woman who's dealing with fertility things, whether they're going through IVF or just getting pregnant or having trouble with their spouse, whatever it is,
find someone and talk to them, because my God, there has only been one person, and I've talked to so many people. There's only been one person, all of these women and men, all of these families I've talked to, who've said, "Oh, we didn't have any problems." Just one person. Every woman I have spoken to, except
they're
one.
a liar. That person, that was a liar face. Yeah,
they've had some kind of struggle. Yeah, and it's some kind of array, and they want to talk about it. They want to share it. They want you to. They
want to share. I think that we're living in a time where people are learning to communicate. Right, we're healing from the past. Like our parents' generation and grandparents' generations were not sharers like we are now in this digital age. We have this opportunity to really open up, and I think it's important.
And this is one of those things I think that should be shared. I think it should be talked about. If it takes a community to raise a child, it also takes a community to have a child.
To make a child, yeah.
And I think it's something that, far too often women feel that they should be silent about and suffer alone, and that they're the only ones going through it. But the reality is that clearly most of us have some sort of battle or issue or journey with it, or to get to it. Yeah. And if we talked about it all openly, how much more comfort and success and happiness and stress would be really...
Well, what would happen if we all just started to open up? Yeah. So I think that, even though we had our meltdown, I think that this building, this regrouping from it, I think that I really am in love with my current ritualistic practices that were... It's a cat. Cats were. So I'm really in love with my rituals and practices that I've put into place, and it's been a really grounding. I think that's my word. It's my word.
So good news to share.
Best news, and we
wanted
to share this earlier, but it wasn't publicly. Yeah, so now it's official.
And this goes with my whole. I'm a big advocate for yourself fan, and through the HSG testing and Caitlin's issues with it, we've really been talking about what exactly it means to advocate for yourself, and
even more now,
being really specific about those words. So not just asking questions in the doctor's office, but saying things like, "This is my first time."
Yeah, that's the thing that I was really grateful that one of my friends who's a doctor said, you need to say when you're in there, "Hey, I'm nervous. This is my first time," because they're not thinking that way. And if you act like you're okay, which because I want it to be okay, I'll act okay.
Right.
But I wasn't, and I needed to say, "I'm scared. I'm nervous. This is my first time."
Yeah. So I think it's really, really important that not only you talk about advocating for yourself, but unpack what that means to you and how best you can do that for yourself and for your partner going through this, because advocating for yourself and for your family is hugely important in a process where I think there's so many moving pieces, and it's not really laid out like, here's the list of everything you're going to need to do. You really have to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like, you carve your own path out, because everyone's different with whatever's happening in their fertility journey.
Right.
So advocating has to kind of be your own path as well. So, I encourage you to write, to take out a piece of paper or pull open a document on your computer and start writing about, what sort of support you need and what does advocating mean for you.
Yeah. So in all of this advocating, money was a huge issue, right? Financially affording this is a huge issue for most people.
Yep.
I realized that my workplace didn't have any coverage at all for...
this was months ago. When did you start this journey?
When we started, so back in December.
Almost a whole year ago.
Yeah, about a year. In January, I started meeting with our HR representative at my workplace because there was no coverage at all. So with our current healthcare, both of our healthcares actually, if you... they would take you through the pre-testing, but once you received the diagnosis of infertility, then the coverage stopped. And unfortunately, the health codes, we have to be diagnosed.
Even though that we are not infertile and we haven't received that diagnosis.
That's not what we do. It's alternative conception.
Yeah.
But the health
codes.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So after working with them for since December of last year, they put the proposal on the board for the board of trustees of the university to pass a one-time stipend of $5,000 for any families going through any kind of in vitro or adoption, and it passed. Yay! So starting January 1, all families will have this stipend benefit that they can.
I'm so proud of you.
So I was really pleased that I was catalyst.
You were a catalyst.
So it just, interestingly enough, and funnily enough, we actually can't use the benefit
at all
because it has to be in state.
And we're out of state,
But at least now families, in this workplace will have just that much more help, and it's adding the topic, it's adding the conversation to the agenda, right?
Yep.
It's shedding light on a conversation that I think otherwise was vacant from the table. So
and it's important to be a part, and so we've been saying we want to be a part of the narrative, right?
Yeah. This specific narrative, and
this is another level that you were able to be a part of it and to advocate for others that we're not.
Right.
So
we can't the good, the bad, and the policy changing. Right. That'll be the theme, the multi-title.
I love it.
Blog.
New chapter title.
And so the only other thing that was on our list, honestly, that I wanted to say was how interesting and cruel is it that all of this IVF stuff, this, the beginning of the injections, starts right after your period. So you have this, all this lovely time of PMS to, be sad and nervous and cry about, these injections. I think it's just cruel.
I'm so sorry.
I truthfully I'm not a big crier. At least I don't think I'm a big crier. And I haven't, I cried every single night for the last 4 days.
Also, it's been a really crazy week. Everyone I know has been, what have I been saying? Trudging through the mud. So, everyone is having a really rough week. So this happening, it's end of October. Energetically, everyone is just trudging right now. And so you got some PMS. You got some hormones happening next week. So the thing is that any moment now, this girl could bleed.
Yeah, so that's where we are. So any moment, I'll bleed, and we'll go in for baseline testing.
And then 3 days afterwards, we'll start injections.
So we've got another week or so to go.
Yeah.
just
Your period's
prolonging
gonna
the
hold. Your
inevitable.
period's gonna hold
I
on.
know.
Like you're like, I'm not gonna.
And
bleed
it's funny
ever.
because I'm equal parts. I don't want it to come, and I do want it to come. So
yeah,
equal parts.
you're really like, I don't want.
Yeah,
This is probably what women feel like when they're like ready to pop too.
I would probably think.
You know what I mean?
so.
They're like, I'm ready to go, and I'm not ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all that aside,
It's all going to be worth it in the end.
Absolutely.
Always, it's a journey, but we felt that it was important to share that, it's although things are going well and moving along, that it's hard.
yeah, and I think, we've been staying on that positive route, but we do want to acknowledge that we did have a meltdown. We had a tough week.
It's okay.
We reached out. We've been doing things, and it's tough. And wishing you all,
Yeah, hang in there.
hang in there.
Hang in there.
And thank you to everyone for their support.
Always, yes.
Especially thank you to those who have donated and those who have sent us well wishes and thoughts and asked us questions and thank you for being engaged with our life and contributing to this narrative that that we're all a part of. So,
Okay.
all right. I love you.
I love you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you for watching the good, the bad, and the extremely long video about our emotions. Make sure to follow us along on this TTC journey at The Muczyks. Click subscribe and watch our other videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.